Hi, and welcome to this 25-minute Pilates class. We'll be focusing on your deep core, your transverse abdominis, or you might know it as your powerhouse. You'll be needing a Pilates ball today. So when you're ready, let's roll out your mat and join me on this beautiful beach in Greece. Let's start today's class sitting on your mat with your legs bent. Place the ball between your knees and then roll down, coming onto your back. And place your hands onto the sides of your ribcage. Let's start with a couple of deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through your mouth. On your inhale, send your breath towards your hands, letting your ribs expand wide. And exhale, feel how your ribs draw back together. With every inhale, try to find a little more space for your breath. And exhale, feel your rib cage coming back together. See if you can expand your ribs a little bit wider with every breath, finding space. And now let's work on activating your powerhouse. Take your middle finger and your index finger and place them onto your hip bones. From here, move your fingertips about 2 to 3 centimeters to the center of your body and squeeze your fingertips in here. If you are relaxed, you should have an easy time pushing your fingers into your tissue without much resistance. Now, let's push our fingertips in and cough twice. Let's do that again. Can you feel something firming up underneath your fingertips? That's your transverse abdominis, also called your Pilates powerhouse. Now, to activate the transverse abdominis, we can't move anything in our body. We actually have to go a little bit through our imagination. So maybe try to pull your hip bones towards each other, feeling if you can create a similar sensation underneath your fingertips as you did when you were just coughing. You can also try to pull your belly button towards the spine and slightly up. See if anything moves here. Or maybe you find your own way to remind yourself to activate your transverse abdominis. Now let's release our hands to the side. And let's mobilize our pelvis. On your exhale, tuck your pelvis under, pressing the lower back against your mat. And inhale, find your way to a neutral spine. Exhale, tilt the pelvis forward, creating an arch in your lower back. Inhale, find back to neutral. And exhale, tilt the pelvis back. Keep the posterior tuck and start to lift your hips up towards the sky, coming into your pelvic curl. Inhale at the top. And then exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time. At the bottom, find your neutral pelvis position. Before you exhale, tucking the pelvis and rolling back up. Inhale, hold still at the top. Exhale, roll down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, roll up. Make sure you really articulate your spine, moving one vertebra at a time, really rounding all the way down and back up. Make sure you use your arms, pushing them down against the mat, and slightly activate your inner thighs by squeezing the ball gently. Now let's hold the position at the top. Shift your weight to your right foot and extend the left foot forward. Bring the foot back onto the mat and switch sides. Take your time, always shifting the weight from one foot to the other, trying to keep your hips at the same height and try to keep the ball between your knees. Exhale as you lift your leg up. Inhale to lower and shift your weight. And exhale, lift your leg on the other side. Use your arms to push down against the mat, keeping your hips as high as you can Let's do 3 more here. Last 2. And 1 last repetition. And then tuck the pelvis under a little bit more and roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Place your ball back between your knees, just in case it shifted. And then lift your legs up to tabletop. Reach your arms out to the side with your palms facing up to the sky. We'll do spine twist here. On your inhale, let your knees drop to one side, rotating through your spine. And with your exhale, pull yourself back to center. You want to make sure the movement's happening only in the lower part of your spine, with your arms and shoulders staying on the ground. And you're moving your legs parallel. So try not to add a twist between your knees and feet, but use your legs as one, pressing gently onto the ball for extra stability. If this works well for you, let's raise up our hands towards the sky with your palms facing towards each other. Again, inhale, rotate the lower part of your body to the side, and exhale through your abdominals, draw yourself back to center. Inhale, take it to the other side. Let's make sure we're not pulling the knees any closer towards our chest, and focus on the stability rather than the size of your movement. Inhale, rotate to the side. Exhale back to center, and inhale, take it to the other side. Make sure you focus the movement on your spinal cord, rotating the lower half of your body instead of moving the legs itself. And keep the movement small. Only bring the legs over as far as you can maintain stability, and then drawing back to center through your abdominals. Try to never go beyond the point where you're losing your balance or control, finding how far you can go today. Let's do 1 more repetition on each side. And then lower your legs down and grab your ball from between your knees. Lift your hips up, and we want to place the ball just underneath the tailbone. Make sure you're not placing it in your lower back, so you're not creating an arch in your spine, but place the widest part of the ball right underneath your tailbone. Extend your arms next to you on the mat. Lift your left leg up to tabletop, balancing here for a second. And now keeping the right angle at your knee, tap your toes down onto the mat and lift the left leg back up to tabletop. Inhale as you lower the leg, exhale as you lift, moving with control. The movement's only happening in your hip joint. You inhale to lower. And last time, exhale to lift, and then set your foot down, and let's switch sides. Lift your right leg up to tabletop, lock your knee in place, lowering the toes down towards the mat, and exhale, lift the leg up to tabletop. Focusing on your core, keeping it active. Remember how we coughed in the beginning. You're here for 2 more. Last time. Now try and balance here, lifting both legs up to tabletop. And now we do the same movement, but we lift and lower one leg at a time down, keeping the other leg up in tabletop, taking this up 1 notch. Again, make sure your knees are always right above your hip bones, keeping the beautiful right angle at your knees, and moving your legs with a lot of control. If you would like to challenge yourself, raise your arms up to the sky with your palms facing towards each other. Lowering one leg down with your inhale, exhale, lift, and inhale, lower your other leg down. Keeping your core active at all times, focusing on your core connection rather than how far down you can bring your toes. Let's do 1 last one here. And then lift both legs up to tabletop. Place your toes together and open your knees slightly. Release your arms down to the side, and let's lower both legs at the same time. Make sure you only lower the legs as far as you can keep your abdominal connection active. So try and really feel for the point where your deep core is being challenged beyond what it can do today. This is not about touching the mat, but focusing on how far down you can bring the legs while keeping your core active, moving again with as much control as possible. Engaging the muscles in your deep core, engaging your inner thighs, gently touching the toes. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. And then hug your knees in towards your chest for a short break here. Next, we'll extend the legs up to the sky. Really point your toes, lengthening through the entirety of your legs. Then start to lower one leg down. And exhale, lift the leg back up. This time we keep the legs fully extended, lowering one leg at a time with as much control and length as you can. Again, pay attention to your core. Only lower the leg as far as you can maintain your core connection. Focus on your breathing, stabilizing on the ball. Moving slow and controlled. Often the slower the movement, the harder it gets. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. And now let's lower both of your legs down at the same time. Squeeze your inner thighs together, keep your toes pointed, lengthening the legs forward as you lower them down. And exhale, lift your legs back up to the sky. Make sure you only lower the legs as far as you can maintain your deep core connection. Let's do 4 more here. Last 3. Last 2. And one last one. And then bend your knees. Place your feet down and take the ball out from underneath you. Place the ball to the side for now. And then drop your knees from one side to the other, releasing any tension in your deep core and in your lower back. And then find your way back to center. Extend your right leg long and lift your left leg up to the sky. Flex your foot and we'll draw circles. Bring your foot across the body, then lower it down and forward to the side. Bring it up to the sky. Drawing a big circle with your foot across the body, down and back up. Inhale with one circle and exhale with your next. Switch direction. Drawing the circle first away from you, then down, forward and across the body back to the sky. Try to keep your entire body stable, just moving the leg from your hip joint. Last one. And then let's switch sides. Extend your right leg up to the sky, flex your foot. And again, we start drawing the circle across the body, down, out and up. Inhale for one circle. Exhale with your next. Lengthening through your entire body, keeping the rest of your body completely still as you're circling the leg. Again, switch direction here. Draw the circle only as big as you can maintain stability. And really focus on lengthening the leg. Last one. And then bend your leg and bring it back down onto the mat. Let's come into a side lying position onto your left side with your lower arm extended. Place your head onto your arm and bring the other arm in front of you to help with stability. Make sure your legs are in line with the rest of your body and your hip bones stacked on top of each other. Engage your inner thighs and as you exhale, lift both legs up and inhale, lower the legs without placing them down onto the mat. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower, lengthening from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Keep your inner thighs active, squeezing the legs together so you can really move them as one. And one last time, lift your legs up. Now scissor one leg forward, the other one back. Pulse twice on your exhale and then inhale to switch. Exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. Try to keep your entire body still, just moving the legs. I know it's not easy, but keep lengthening and engaging your core, your back muscles. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. Exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. And last one. And then bring your legs back to center and lower them down. Well done. Come up into a seated position and let's take it straight to the other side. Whenever we're in our side lying position, you want to make sure to keep the underside of your waist slightly lifted from the mat instead of completely collapsing in your spine and placing your waist down onto the mat. That's why I mentioned to lengthen, so you want to keep your spine in its neutral position. Maybe there's a tiny gap underneath your waist. Place your legs together, engage your inner thighs, and exhale to lift both legs up. And inhale, lower them down without fully placing them on the mat. You're here for 6 more. Keep lengthening through your spine, making sure you're not moving your upper body, keeping your hip bones stacked on top of each other. Last 2. And on your last one, lift the legs up, hold them lifted, and we scissor. Exhale, exhale to scissor, and inhale to switch. Keep pushing the left hand in front of you to help you stabilizing here as you pulse your legs twice and then switch. For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Beautiful. Last one. And then bring your legs back together and release. Find your way up into a seated position. Grab your bowl again. Make sure there's no sand on it. And let's come into a 4-point kneeling position, placing the ball just underneath your left knee. Make sure your knees are just underneath your hip bones, your wrists just underneath your shoulders, and then lift your right knee up to the same height as your left knee and balance here for a moment. Align your spine parallel to the ground, and with your next exhale, keeping the bend at your right knee, lift the leg up towards the sky. Inhale, lower the knee down until it's in line with your other leg. And exhale, lift the bent knee up. Keep lengthening through your spine, engaging your core to balance and stabilize. Moving with a lot of control here. You have 4 more to go. Try to not push your hips to the left, but stay in line. Last 2. And on your last repetition, lift your leg up, extend the leg long, and now lower the long leg down to tap the mat. And exhale, lift up. Inhale as you lower the leg, and exhale as you lift. Again, lengthening through your entire body, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. Last 4. Last 3. 2. And on your last one, keep the leg lifted and extend your opposite arm forward. Lower both your arm and your leg down to the mat and exhale to lift. Move slowly with a lot of control to keep your stability on the ball, keeping both your hip bones and your shoulders parallel to the floor. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last 2. And on your last one, release. Well done. Let's take it straight to the other side, placing the ball underneath your right knee. Again, find your positioning with your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hip bones, and then lift the left leg up slightly. And keeping the bend at your knee, lift your leg up. Inhale to lower your leg, and exhale to lift. Keep your core engaged, and keep your stability with your upper body parallel to the floor. We have 4 more. Last 3. Last 2. And on your last one, extend the leg long and lower the extended leg down, tapping the toe onto the mat, and exhale, lifting the leg long and strong. For 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, lift the leg, hold it lifted, and let's add the opposite arm. Lowering your arm and your extended leg down to the mat. Tap and exhale to lift. You got 3 more to go. Last 2. And last one. And then release your hand down and place your knee back onto the mat. Let's spice things up. Place the ball between your knees and tuck your toes under. With your exhale, gently lift your knees just a couple of millimeters off the mat and inhale, set them back down. Keep going like this, or if you want more, lift and lower the knees without setting them down onto the mat, but keep always a slight distance between your knee and the mat. Stay strong for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, and then send your hips back into a downward facing dog. From here, let's send it forward into a plank position. Find your strong plank, making sure your hands are just underneath your shoulders, bringing your hips in line with the rest of your body. And then draw your navel to spine and send your sit bones up, coming back to downward facing dog. Inhale, find your way forward to plank. Exhale to pike up. Keep going for 4 more like this. Really start the motion by drawing your belly button up towards the sky. Sending your sit bones high as you find your downward facing dog. Last 2, pike up. And on your last plank, hold in your plank position and now bend your knees as if you want to set them down and extend back forward to plank. Bending the knees, keeping your back straight, and extend the knees for plank. Last push-up class today for 6, for 5, for 4, stay with me, 3, 2, and last one, find your plank and we hold. You can do this. Just breathe. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and set your knees down and find your way into a child's pose. Send your breath towards your lower back and then take your left hand, placing it over your right to stretch the side of your body. Breathe here, and then let's take it to the other side. Bring your hands back, and then slowly roll up to a kneeling position. On your inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, and exhale, lower your hands down in front of you. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. Have a wonderful day, and I hope I see you soon.